know what it is. 237. Catch me on the stoop.
Like
no
home,
place like home. We outside.
Today, baby. No, I want
and you already know what it is. Scribbles on Threads, Grooming Band. What's better than you? And today.
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 Yeah.
Guess
who
we got.
Listen.
Let him introduce. Let him introduce himself.
Somebody said Queens was in the house.
Always.
Somebody said Queens was in the house today, baby. Somebody said Queens was in the house today.
What's their slogan? Queens get the money.
Queens get the money, right? Yeah. Talk about it then. Tell them who you are.
Yeah.
Tell them who you are. Queens get the money.
World, my name is Mr.Mecc, South Jamaica Queens representative.
South.
Here for it.
They don't fight fair. They dirty. Huh?
Here for it. I don't want yours, but I need all of mine.
Okay.
Oh yeah. See, this is big New York. We ain't even saying Queens. This big New York. Cause you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of love here because it's the 718 thing. We always got love.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
first cousins.
Talk about it.
First cousins.
We don't only royal counties. If they don't know, it's Kings and Queens.
Period.
BQE. The BQE.
Brooklyn Queens Empire.
Yeah.
We do that.
Huh?
That's what it is.
Get on them, Kurt. This is hip hop. I know, Kurt. God, get on them, Kurt. Get on them, Kurt.
We going straight in with that.
Straight on hip hop.
Straight on. Where you want to start it from?
Speak to me.
All right.
Where you want to
It's
start
getting
from?
cold. It's getting cold.
We go. All right. So
It's
let's
getting
start
cold.
in New York.
It's getting cold. It's
cold.
New York.
It's fall. It's the fall season
Not
right
always.
now.
This is Nas' question though.
Yeah.
This is Nas' question. It's New York.
As New Yorker, right? When it comes to construction, mac, cheese, Tim's, are you a one soul or a double soul person?
Oh, he gave the look too. He gave the look like this is an irrelevant question.
I'm not dignifying that with a response. I'm not.
For the people, let's just say.
Listen.
I don't know those people.
The real question, exactly. You better not know them people,
I don't
man.
know those people.
Yeah,
If you even, I'm not dignifying.
The real question is, what's an acceptable pair of Timbs for the fall if you're a New Yorker?
Okay.
It's an acceptable.
What's an acceptable pair of Timbs
Remember
for
what
a
we
New
said?
Yorker?
The different Timbs characterize that person. Like everybody can't
That's
look
why I
the
said,
same.
what's an acceptable pair? It's some, he got to answer that because it's something you just can't be caught out here with.
Suede,
Leather.
double sole.
Double sole.
I let 40 belows.
Oh yeah.
Beef and broccoli.
Listen, I'm about to say you missing one out here.
I'm not a beef and broccoli dude myself,
Yeah.
personally. However, if we talk about acceptable pairs,
For the culture,
give it up.
if you came out in a pair of beef and broccolis, I got nothing to say.
Okay.
I salute beef and broccolis, of course.
Excuse me, sir. Mine $2. Mine for $1.
Come back later, okay?
Yeah, come back in a little while.
You ride your bike around here next time. We got you.
Come back in a little while.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right now.
Later. Okay.
I'm allergic to peanuts.
You know this is what happens when you're in the hood. They hustling.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
He acts better than last week.
Yes, he did
yeah,
act
yeah.
better than last time. Last time he rolled down here was like money.
Give
me a sec.
Yeah.
He act better than last. You ain't even got the ratchet out of nothing. Man.
He said, "Give me."
He said, give me. Yeah.
Got something in the box this time?
Yeah. Came with his sister this time.
I ain't
Try to
mad.
make it smoother.
That's not bad.
Yeah, New York.
Exactly.
And who's mad?
Yeah.
Who's mad? I haven't gone too far to remember when I was that age.
Yeah.
Looking for something to do. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And if it wasn't for hip hop, when I was his age, I was breakdancing
Yeah.
for dollars. Like, that's what we did. Go get the mat. My older brother brought out like the cardboard box. And we did what we did for tourists or businessmen walking past. I remember being a shorty and going to the World Trade Center.
World Trade.
You get right in the middle between the buildings, and you could set up for a couple minutes before security would chase us off. At first, it wasn't an issue, but then security would chase you off. Then you find someplace else to post up. But that was like the original hustle. If for myself, if I'm being honest, that was the original hustle. And use that money to buy whatever else. If you was in the clothes, you did that. My other brother was a graph head, so all his shit went into Krylon cans.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if he made a little bread, he went and got Krylon and got busy. And, you get notebooks that's what we did. That's what we did. It wasn't about what it looked like. It was more about what it was. And we were way more concerned about what it was than what it looked like. But that was the hip hop thing.
It's hip hop. That's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Buying needles for records, buying more vinyl, like everything we did went back into that.
Hold up a minute.
Oh, get his hat. Playboy.
Yeah.
Don't let him leave without the hat.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
So what you call it? You if we not mistaken, we seen you spitting a few bars. You know what I'm saying? At one time ago, you was you was out there getting it in.
I was active.
Heavy with the pen, huh? You like that?
I was active.
That's how you put that? Because he said he got the Sharpie on the arm, the notebook.
He collected a couple of dots right there.
I was active. I was definitely active. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I don't think any real creative ever retires. I don't believe in that. That sounds corny. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense because you don't hit a switch and flip on the creativity. You definitely ain't. A switch doesn't exist where you can flip it off.
True.
So once an MC, always an MC. Once a writer, once a graph head, always a graph head. Once a b-boy, always a b-boy. Like if you don't do, you can teach. Right? So, and I came up around some of the best to ever.
I was about to get into that too. Like, so since you came up around the best ever, so who sparked the interest for you at the time? Like, yo, I want to do this. I want to get into this. Being that you was on that side, you was in Queens. Who sparked the interest for you then? And was like, listen, I want to do this.
Oh well, to be a part of hip hop was different.
Okay.
Because my older brothers was a member of the Dynamic Breakers. So I've never known a house without hip hop in it. Right. I remember the first time I heard it, but it was what it, you know what I mean? Like when I caught on to it, my older brothers was already like deep involved. So for me, it was just this thing in the background that I didn't know I could participate in. It wasn't until let me stop dodging the question. The guy who made me feel like I could, who inspired me to first pick up the pen was Grand Poobah.
Okay.
Grand Poobah from Brand New. He was so clever.
Yeah.
He was so charismatic. And like everything the cadence of his voice and the fact that he was never monotone, but he always like punched at the right spot, double emphasis on this syllable, and like the way he would land and flip and bounce and just float over every beat. I was like, that sounds like something I could do. I'm not.
Hey, Ro a Grand Poobah fan.
Oh yeah. Grand Poobah was. I agree with him.
Step to the Rear was.
Man.
That was the set off.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. So, being an MC, is that the reason why you so critical on the guys that give you tapes? Because I see you on the show, and you throw a lot of tapes in the box.
Well, okay, I rate music from a couple of different sides now. It's not just about the artistic side, because it's not about the world isn't based on artists. It's not based on artistic merit or artistic skill level. So when I'm doing an analysis of music, it's more along the lines of, can this sell? Is there a market for this? And are you doing it as well as you could be doing it? So any clients that I have, the first thing is, well, where do you want to be as far as your career is concerned? And I do a little analysis, figure out where they want to get to. And then from there, it's like, okay, well, that kind of music, that level you want, this is the kind of quality it's going to take to achieve that level. So we need to fix the quality. You got to change this. This needs to be this, and that's where I go from there. My personal tastes don't have anything to do with me tossing out a demo. It's not, oh, this shit sucks, and I try. No, it's like, no, this will not get to where you say you want to go to. This is noise. You're just going to be in the way.
Well, let me ask you something, because you know, there was at one time, as we growing up, there was a critical publishing. There was a critical publishing that you was part of. Some of our older parents know about Jet Magazine. By the time you came around, you was part of Source. And as a person that grew up around that time, they gave out something called 5 mics. What made a person get 5 mics? Because very few that I can remember.
Right there.
I took you back. I
just seen the mics in my head and everything.
Yeah, the Source was it though.
Yeah, the Source. I mean, you figure it was Jet, there was Right On, there was Word Up, and then it was a Source and Double XL. It was Source and Double XL. Now, with the Source, y'all did the 5 mics. How did y'all come up with that? And, you know, I know a lot of people call some of that, you know, they called it hating, but, you know, it's constructive criticism. If you think, you know, how did y'all come up with that? Were you part of that? Was y'all all sitting there and y'all all voted on it? How did that whole thing come about?
I've written a couple of 5 mic articles. I actually gave Bun B's 5 mics came from my pen. I did that. But it was never just me making an overall decision. We all got together and had to discuss it. If it was anything short of 5 mics, if it was short of 4.5, you could go ahead and write whatever, and your editor can decide if that's fair or not, right? As the writer, you sit with it, you do your 1-2, you write it down, you pass it off to the editor. If it's short of 4.5, then he'll probably let you rock with that. But when you start talking about 4.5, which is rated superior, and then a 5 is classic, that warrants a discussion. And now we got to go back to the drawing board.
Look, he waiting, because he want to ask a question about classics. Look, they rating.
A classic album, basically.
Look, I'm glad I ain't even have to ask. Either way to go already, I ain't even have to ask.
A classic album is an album that will still hold its value, relevancy 10 years into the future. It's a hard prediction to make. What's gonna still sound as good 10 years from now? That's rough. That's super difficult. You almost, so you have to start punching it by criteria. You have to start breaking it down by, okay, lyrics, story, the overall arc, the artist persona. Are these things still going to be relevant in 10 years? Will this music still sound fresh in 10 years? It's a really hard mark to hit. And you can be wrong. You can be wrong. You're more wrong than you are right, which is why there are so few 5 mic albums. But will you turn it on and still be as excited as you were? And this generation may not get it. You dig what I mean? Like, it's not a matter of, that's why I use relevancy in air quotes, because somebody who's 20 years old may not understand the feeling of Illmatic today. Doesn't mean it's not still a lyrically superior album. Doesn't mean it's still not production-wise a superior album. Doesn't mean it's still not a hallmark as far as the genre of hip-hop is concerned, a turning point. It's the first super produced album. First album with the super producers of its day all collaborating to do something for this one guy. Right? It's the first time that ever happened. So you can't negate that, the impact moving forward. But if I'm 20 years old today, I don't feel that impact because that's normal now.
Could a system like that exist today? Like a 5 mic system on the current albums? Or is the music so trash that you not even?
Well, those two things can be true at the same time. I can have a rating system and just be handing out 1 mic albums because everything I get is terrible. Right? However, any rating system can exist today. Who's paying attention? We've created a market where the consumers are now more important than the connoisseurs. I'm a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur. I don't do McDonald's. You dig what I mean? Let me explain.
Nah. Explain it. Okay, explain it for the people.
Because there ain't nothing wrong with a Big Mac up to it.
Never. However,
once in a while.
But there ain't nothing wrong with it.
When I was
young.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
When I was a kid, McDonald's was a reward. I remember doing good in school. Hey, you do good in school, I'm gonna take you to McDonald's. It was all I wanted when I was a kid, right? Teenage years, somebody put me on the Red Lobster. Oh man, oh, this is crazy. Like this, oh my God, this is fantastic. I ain't never had nothing like this in McDonald's. Like Burger King don't do this. This is nuts. Get a little older, start hitting your 20s.
Don't tell me you went to Cheesecake Factory, because some people make a list.
Those chicks are gonna die with gas. Single and alone.
Single and alone. I'm with you. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
The next stop up, I remember specifically was, you in your 20s, your people want to take you out someplace nice. Tavern on the Green. You hit that, oh wow, oh this is, oh man. And you start looking for spots where you need a reservation to get in. There's a dress code to get in. The steakhouse. Hold on a minute now. Wait a minute. Now let somebody invite you back to McDonald's after the fact. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh yeah.
I'm not mad at what you've experienced and what you enjoyed. Sounds great, because I remember when I was that age, I was all about that. However, I've grown. My tastes have evolved. They've developed. I don't go backwards now. I don't know anybody whose taste and goes backwards. You sit in the Benz, it's hard to get back in a Honda Civic. You think what I mean? Like once you start, you know better, you do better. Everybody will tell you that. You know better, you do better.
On that note, the 5 mics. Of course, there's some hits, some misses. You know what I'm saying? One of the people, or one of the albums that didn't get 5 was The Chronic, right? The Chronic ain't get 5.
I think they did like a revisionist and went back and
nah, you can't do that though.
Remastered it, baby. They
remastered it, but you don't listen. You gave it what you gave it at the time, you know.
Because at the time, but that doesn't mean you don't honor the mistake you made.
Okay,
you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you don't keep somebody out just being hard headed. If 5 mics is a specific room in the house, you don't lock somebody out because a minute ago their shoes looked dirty, but then you saw them in the light and it was actually pristine. Oh, my bad. You know what? You're supposed to be in here. My fault. Who wants somebody to do that? Even if I give you your flowers 10 years after the fact, if I discovered that, oh man, I was completely wrong.
Mistake,
right. The source was on that kind of time. It wasn't a matter of our egos being too big for the culture. No, you made a mistake. This 10 plus years later, this album is crazy. Okay, it's a classic. Like, what can we say about it?
What was the energy like for somebody when for people who felt like you got it wrong at that time? Like, yo, how could you give this? How could you give this and you gave this that?
You explain to him how.
Yeah,
you explain to him how.
That energy is different than, I want to know how was the energy when the whole Benzino and Eminem thing was going down. Because that energy had to be, like the 5 mics thing, you could sit down and talk to people about that. But the whole thing with Benzino and Eminem, that energy had to be a little different. And you were part of that. You were there. So you got to experience that part of energy. Because if you don't, people talk about Eminem as being one of the greatest MCs to touch the microphone. You know what I'm saying? And with one of the greatest sitting down now coming at Benzino, but he didn't just come at Benzino, he even attacked the source.
It's because Benzino involved the source in it. Like it wasn't necessarily, first of all, Benzino started it. You know what element I come from. If you started, you started it. Bullies get punched in the mouth all the time, and nobody's supposed to feel sorry for the bully. If you started, whatever happens to you happens to you.
Queens get the money, baby.
I'm wrong. Like if I press you, whatever comes to me. Nobody feels no sympathy. He can hit me with a car. Like, yo, you shouldn't have been fucking with him. Why you messing with him? Why you do that? You could have left that boy alone and let him go about his business. You pressed him. He flattened you. Now it's an issue? Now you mad? He ain't have to do all. No, that's what happens. You can't control somebody's reaction. You started, this is what happens.
That response right there always will tell where you from, what area you from. That response.
Era.
What area you from. It's like, you started, I'm gonna finish it. That's it.
And however I finish it is my discretion, right? So if I go at your whole house, if I decide that the consequences of fucking with me is I air out everything.
That's Ice Cube in it, baby.
It sounds bad, but for me, I'm justified because you started it. Eminem retaliating however he decided to retaliate after he got called out was his prerogative. And if he decides he wants to kill ants with a sledgehammer, that's what it is. And we just happen to be a bunch of writers, hip-hop heads, journalists, caught up in the moves and prerogatives of people who were above our pay grade. Me I wasn't even a music editor at the time. I was a writer and a circulation coordinator. I'm gonna go to him and tell him, yo, knock that shit off.
Yeah.
Yo, stop. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why would you even do that? Yo, go apologize. That shit is corny.
Yeah.
He ain't do nothing to you. He don't give a shit about, like, stop. What you do that for?
Yeah.
So what? Why are you beefing with him?
Yeah.
That's not gonna help you. He wouldn't have listened to me.
Yeah.
You dig what I mean? I'm little man on the totem pole, and I happen to know for a fact there were plenty of people in the building who felt like that. You got to remember, you got people who are just hip-hop heads, journalists, writers, fashion people. They just want to work.
Yeah.
They don't want to get caught up in the politics of the higher-ups or your personal grievances with somebody that now ends up affecting everybody else under you. And when I spoke to Benzino, I told him, like, there's a difference between being a boss and a leader. The boss, you telling people what to do. Go do that, go do that, go do that. A leader, you show them.
That's right.
A leader's in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
At Viper Records, I have to think about the people who my moves affect. You dig what I mean? If I do something foul, if I do something crazy, if I cut somebody's throat or act a fool, or I'm out here wilding and doing all kinds of stupid shit or clickbait, there are people who are going to be affected by what I do. That's the responsibility you take on when you decide that you're going to be the head of the table. It's not just about wielding power and doing whatever. And you really fucked us all up by doing that. And it was unnecessary. It was uncalled for. And now we all have to suffer from it. And there's a bunch of people who ended up getting laid off. The advertising started pulling out. Interscope started saying, yo, we not, nope. All these companies, nope. Everybody sided with him because he was in that situation. He was the person being picked on. Some of us are going to move to television next 5-10 years. Yeah, some podcasters are going to move to networks are going to catch on that, you know, with the strike and all that. Networks are always looking for a better mousetrap, a cheaper way to get as much bang for the buck as possible, right? That's corporate culture, period. So there's no way around that. If they see people who are already producing their own shows, the goal is now going to be to get as many of them as possible and keep their production model at cost. Maybe you throw a couple of dollars, but it's not the tens and thousands of dollars you would have spent to bring something up from scratch, right? It's the same way that independent rappers got plucked out of the indie scene and got major deals, right? Television is going to move the exact same way, and YouTube is kind of precarious. If they decide to demonetize your channel, you don't really have any say in it, and it's foul, and they can just decide, like, nah, that's it for you. So a lot of people are already looking for alternatives just to have a little bit more security. You don't want to go from making whatever you were making to somebody deciding, oh, that's one curse too many, pal. That's crazy.
Now at Viper Records, now, is that your label?
Nah. Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's my label.
It's your label.
I mean, I work there.
You work there.
Okay.
And when you work there, you A&R?
Head of A&R.
Okay.
And the president.
What is the A&R?
Artist and repertoire. That's what it stands for. In case you didn't know, that's what it actually stands for. An A&R's job used to be putting an artist, signing an art, finding the talent, molding the talent, because you can have talent, but it might not be market ready.
Yes.
So now I need to get you market ready.
Okay.
And some A&Rs do a good job, some A&Rs do a bad job, some A&Rs do a terrible job, some A&Rs do an excellent job. Biggie's evolution is prime example of an A&R at work. He went from military jackets and Carhartt hoodies and partying bullshit to Hypnotized with a suit and a cane and was still doing his 1-2, and now he's talking money. He's not talking, but that's natural evolution. Somebody had to help him with that. Here's what that guy looks like. Here's how that guy dresses. Here are the kind of beats that guy is supposed to rap over. The stuff you were rapping over before, cool, we can still sprinkle some of those in, but here's the next wave of those kinds of beats. You dig what I mean? It's an all-encompassing thing. My job now, mostly because of the kind of artists that I'm working with, is not so much to do that, because these guys are established. They know where they want to go. However, my job now has mostly been keeping the bar high, keeping the aesthetic, keeping the standard where it needs to be. Working with Bus is Busta Rhymes is the most competitive nigga I've ever met in my life. He's got all the money, he's got all the accolades, he's got all the love, he's got all the respect.
And all the hits.
And all the hits that come from making hits consistently in every era. He's had something. All the features, everybody knows. His catalog is stupid. His background is ridiculous. His resume is impeccable. That dude is only motivated by who's the best. Who's better than me? Who's the best? A Royce the 5'9" collab happened. Hand to everything. Because we were backstage at Ripton Runway, and he heard me. He saw me listening to the Bar Exam mixtape.
Okay.
Royce the 5'9". Shout out Royce the 5'9". And Royce is getting busy, and I'm in this zone. He had somebody tap me on the shoulder from across the room. Who you listening to? Who that? Who shit is that? Yo, this nigga Royce going in. A word? We're from Detroit, right? Yeah. Shit is crazy. It's fire? He doing some shit, huh? It's fire? Yo, this nigga's killing this shit right now.
Yeah. Bus said, let me go to the lab.
Yeah.
He just and he looked at me like he was offended. He gave me this face like,
Yeah.
I ain't know what the fuck. That night, he gets done with Rip the Runway, multiple takes, wardrobe changes, gets the crew settled, whatever. It might have been like 1 o'clock in the morning. Something stupid. He's calling my phone
with a joint.
Mecc, you got that nigga's number? Yeah, Royce is the homie. Call him right now. Call him right now. Get him on the phone right now.
Yeah.
Call the guard right now. Get him on the phone.
But this is what that's what this is about. It's a competitive, and
it's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this is.
It's
like,
what it's supposed to be. But when you competing over money, it gets different. When your money is more important than your talent, it gets different.
Yeah.
People would rather lose respect than lose money.
With that being said, all
these different beats, the beats that's currently being played now, I think it was a great move, and they successfully did.
Willingness, you saying willingness, man. I mean, shit, this the same day career too. This ain't about,
is that
more like they doing them a favor. These young artists is doing them a favor. Like,
it can be seen that way too. See, but here's the thing: at both of those angles right there, nobody's wrong.
Yeah, nobody's wrong.
Nobody's wrong. No, I haven't heard anything here that's incorrect. Nobody's wrong, and all of these things can be true at the same time, right? It's just a matter of what can you do it. Can you take what's gonna come after?
That cost.
Jim Jones is gonna walk in the room and somebody might go, "Yo, that dude you did that song with is trash." Yo, bro is a snitch. Did you know that? Oh my God. That's catastrophic for my bottom line if I'm Jim Jones. Just found out I did a song with a dude who's like a known rat. Oh my God. You dig what I'm saying? But at the time, 6ix9ine was like the hottest thing.
And now, you know what I'm saying? And listen, I just heard 6ix9ine at A Boogie the other day. They still on the radio, so.
Listen.
And if you're not street affiliated, then him being a snitch really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So again,
exaggerated that word snitch.
Don't get me
They don't understand there's a difference between a snitch and a rat.
Nigga, I ain't do the crime with you, nigga. I'm not like, I don't understand.
You know what I'm saying? They don't. They don't.
You got citizens. You got people that live on this block that pay taxes and everything. They supposed to tell. You got people that say don't snitch. No,
a rat is somebody that's out there doing the crime, and now they're telling. But a snitch is somebody they told.
But you talking to a generation who has no idea what the difference is. Like they don't know what the difference is, and they don't care.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the big
care.
difference. Yeah, they don't
because they're not outside like that, and you're talking to this group. So what are we doing here? You have a decision to make.
My last question for you. You guys chopped a lot of fat off of the show.
What show we talking about? Give a show
get a show a name. So what show?
Talk about the show.
What show?
What show you seen him on?
What show you seen him on?
Yeah.
I see them on a lot of
Okay, what show you talking about?
Yeah, you talking about show. What the hell? What are you talking about?
The pressure.
He put the guard on the pressure.
Give that show a shout out.
Yo, God, what show you talking about, God?
Because I always mess the name up for the show. So
Which way are you talking about? The show that's out now? Are you talking about the one that he's
Him and
out?
Mav. Yes,
Him and Mav.
My
You're talking
expert
about my
opinion.
expert.
There you go.
Okay.
My expert opinion.
Shout out to my expert
That's
opinion,
right.
man.
Shout out to my expert opinion.
Now that y'all done that. And I'm glad y'all did cut some fat, because there was a lot of people on the show that I really felt like didn't really bring.
He talking about cutting
views
the
and
fat.
opinions of the card. Don't let me.
Oh,
What's your beat right now, yo?
So, and you sat right next to him. You sat to your right.
I sit next to a lot of people.
The older gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah,
talking about Bigger?
Huh?
Who you talking about,
Yeah,
Bigger?
Bigger. I just wanted to know, like, was his role to the show strictly because he was something to Mav, or did he actually bring something to the show?
I don't cast the show, so it's not for me to determine what someone's value is on the show at all times. Now I see points of view from everybody, right? The old cast members. I'm starting from the beginning with Misfit and I see what everybody can contribute. Dig.
They ain't as cool as you though, son. They don't sit back. They don't sit back with their leg. And I'm still no serious. Certain things stand out. You gotta like. I like a smooth dude. I like a laid back that's gonna hit him with the fat.
Yeah, and I
But you know,
if we ain't talking about this dude,
That's
son,
him. That's him.
if
That's
we
him.
ain't, you know what
He
I'm
always
saying?
like,
About
he
this
take-
dude.
he take-
I don't want to talk about no loud mouth.
That's him.
Son.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You know I like you on the show? The fact that you can get to your point without being so overly emotional and just speak to the facts. Like, so many people get caught up in all the other shit, but you speaking, when you start talking actual numbers to them, you actually talking about timelines and frames and what it actually is. A lot of those guys, they just be talking from their emotion or the attachment that they have to a certain artist or whatever. Like, yo, this artist is whack, man, he whack, and here go the numbers that say that he whack. You know what I'm saying? And you have done that.
Because when he asks a question, niggas do this. Sit up. They got.
Just because the numbers don't reflect, the numbers might not always reflect that this artist is good or he dope. So, and it's all about our
quality
opinion.
and talent and sales
You know what I'm
are
saying? Like,
three totally
his
separate
opinion
things.
must differ from mine. Mine's different from yours. So because you think somebody is dope and their numbers don't support that, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I don't think they're dope.
And let me move away from that. I'm just saying, when we talking real hip hop facts, because like I said, people start getting into, and I'm just using Biggie. Biggie was the greatest, but they can't tell you why he's the greatest. They say because they like Biggie. They can't tell you a Biggie album. They can't tell you a song of now. They can't do it. But
which is why I always just say, say Biggie's your favorite.
Yeah.
I don't
I
do
think
the greatest. I do.
No, we fuck up a lot of terms. We're not very
Friends.
clear. It's like respect, the term respect. He disrespected me. How? Or he said this. Well, that just means he disagreed with you.
Right.
He didn't disrespect you. He just didn't agree, and he told you how you were wrong. You got that fucked up. Like, you disagreed. You're not entitled to beef with him because he disagreed with you. That sounds stupid. You want to fight him because he disagreed? That's corny, right?
Yeah.
The best versus the greatest. Greatest implies stats, awards, accolades, etc., right? The best implies skill, right? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest because of all those rings. Greatest quarterback because of all them championships.
Tom Brady is.
Tom Brady, Magic. Aaron Rodgers, though, everybody always, who's the better quarterback? Who's the best? Aaron Rodgers be taking that hands down. He ain't got all the rings, but as far as you dig what I'm saying? Who's the greatest versus who's the best.
Okay, we was talking about this the other day.
What up?
What about an MC and what a lyricist? What we was doing? Was it an MC and an artist? An MC and an artist, right? What was it, Kurt?
It was more. It was more.
It was more a lyricist.
It was more. Yeah.
And an MC.
We was more talking about whether or not if somebody writes their
so if they write their own music, they are artists. But if they write their own music, they're lyricists. But if they recite someone else's lyrics that they wrote for them, they're an artist.
Is that a factor? We were more talking about whether or not that's a factor in somebody being the greatest.
All right, let's.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. They're all artists because artist just implies creativity.
Gotcha.
So whether you're kicking somebody else's shit or you wrote your own shit, you're an artist. You're just a creative. You came up with an idea, whatever you make, that's an artist, right? MC and lyricist are the same thing.
Okay.
Your quality of lyricism can differ from MC to MC, right? But an MC is very integral, is very distinctive from a rapper. An MC, master of mic controller, master of ceremonies, what he's saying is very important. So he's looking to push the envelope, right? Versus a rapper who may be more about the style, maybe more about the entertainer, right? There's a difference between James Brown makes soul music, Luther Vandross singing soul music, but you put them next to each other, they're very different. That's why James Brown is called the world's greatest entertainer, but not the world's greatest singer. Whereas Luther Vandross takes that home, right? Whitney Houston and T-Boz, you put them next together, they're both making the same, style of records, both R&B singers, but one will sing the national anthem and tear ass, and the other one will make a dope record, but you won't put her in anybody's vocalist list. You dig what I mean? So there are distinctions. Now, getting back around to the question. If you have someone else writing your shit, and I'm on record as saying this, so I don't mind saying it again. For me, there's an asterisk next to your name when we start talking about the greatest. You are automatically disqualified from being the greatest. Period. Now, you may be the greatest, you may be a great entertainer. We're coming back around to the accolades now.
Yeah.
You may be going platinum, you may be cleaning up, you may be killing the charts, you may be doing, the shows may be sold out, everybody loves your shit. 100%, I get you, I understand it, I respect it. However, if we're talking about the best, if we start talking about the best, you are disqualified from being one of the best.
Yeah.
If the shit you did not come from your pen. I think, and the fucked up thing is that for me, that's a low bar. That's like a low criteria. The least I'm asking you to do is write all your own shit. Like, how is that a problem?
I'm gonna stop that right there because I'm gonna cross that out. That question, we ain't answering that question no more. So that's over. That's
got
over.
the answer, right?
It's over.
That's it. We good.
That's it.
You got yeah. We got that. Yeah.
Don't ask that no more out there.
Scratch that off our board, man.
Just in case y'all ain't heard, Mecc told y'all, man.
You heard.
Just in case.
I don't deal with. I'll tell you a funny story. Busta Rhymes kicked me out the studio one day because he thought I was trying to give him bars, because it looked like I was trying to give him bars. I didn't even know he could hear me. But he was working this rap out. He was working this one specific rhyme out. We in the studio, the beats blaring, and me, I'm sending an email and I'm taking notes for like another couple of records, and I'm deep in my phone. And he said this one rhyme, and the beat's on a loop because he's working his way through the bar. He's trying to figure out where he wants to go next. Intricate process. Normally he's one take Tommy, but for this one, there was something he wanted to do, and he was coming up with it on the spot. And the beat and the bars looping, and I'm doing my 1-2, and the beat drops out just as I say a rhyme that would have rhymed with the one that just dropped out. He got so pissed. Yo, stop the beat. Mecc, you gotta go, son. You gotta go. You can't give me no bars, nigga. You know how that shit goes. He got pissed, and he made me leave. And I'm not talking about walk out the room. I'm talking about like go home. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mecc, you from the exact same fucking cloth I am, nigga. You know what the fuck it is. You can't be doing no shit like that, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? And he was like riffing because it wasn't just me and him. It was me, him, a few other people, and I know I'm not giving you no. I know you're not going to use the shit I'm saying. I know that I'm just talking and I'm literally just in my head. I'm not even thinking out. But the fact that it could look like, you know what I mean? The fact that somebody could imply that I help him, which I've never done. But even the thought of it, you think what I mean? Even the concept was enough to make him, yo, I will get the fuck out, blah, 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 blah. That's how serious he takes that. And that's the standard that we maintain. Yo,
you gotta applaud that because
how can you not?
Yeah, that
how can you not? Just the thought, like just thinking that somebody may think that it's so scrutinized. He was so pissed at anybody saying, yo, Mecc be helping it. Just the thought of that was enough to have him spaz out on me in front of everybody. And the people who were in the session, this is the other part, the people who were in the session are people who are always in the sessions. So they know, they've seen him write his own they've seen him writing rhymes. They've seen him write pages of shit in a night and come up with 6-7 verses in a night. They know he writes his own shit. And I'm looking around like, ain't nobody gonna think that shit. It's me, it's him. It's not like
the regulars.
We be in here all the time. Like nobody thinks that shit. Like, we've been doing this for years, bro. Like nobody's gonna think. But he was so pissed at just the idea.
Yeah.
He made me go home. I ain't speak to that nigga for like the rest of the week. And he wasn't like mad at me, but he was like, you gotta be more careful about the times we in and the life we living in, because if somebody was filming at that minute,
what about social media, baby? Back to that power of that social media.
And now we got a problem. So now we both doing press conferences talking about I need to disavow myself. The thoughts and opinions that the thoughts and bars that come from Mecc Rashawn and Mecc Rashawn's only. Like he doesn't play games with shit like that. And if we have icons that take it that serious. Everybody needs to take it that serious.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on his son's music?
He's coming.
Yeah,
he's coming.
My nephew got a record with him.
He's got some shit with him. He's definitely. I think he needs to. I think there's a level of application that needs to take place. He needs to but I see it's starting to happen.
Do you feel anything? Because he sings a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that will be the better lane for him?
He's a product of his era. I think I'm not boxing him in. I think creatives need to figure out what they're comfortable with and do it, especially in this era. Like do it all. Do whatever it is you're good at.
You got a good voice. I ain't gonna
do what works.
Do whatever you're good at.
Do what works, but make sure you're good at it. Thankfully, he's good at it. But do what you're good at.
Who's on the Viper roster right now?
Shout out to Ohene Savant.
Yeah.
Out of Philadelphia, now taking place in Atlanta. Now taking residence in Atlanta. The new album is going to be called WATS, Watts. It stands for We Are the Salt. Brother from Africa, absolutely murdering everything moving. His freestyles go crazy, and the album is like super quality. So I'm really excited to get that one popping. Shout out to Sha Summers.
Okay.
Located out in Brooklyn, by way of Virginia. A beast. The single out right now is called Lemon Lime Fade. We're probably gonna do some more with that, but his album is called Summersville.
Okay.
Super fire. Super fire. One time for Dot Demo out of the Bronx. Okay. Demolition Dot. The album is called 9300 HUNNIT. Again, another fire ass album. Shout out to the Combine from out west. Since then they've broken up, but I still got the album, so I still got the album, so fuck that shit. Like the album, the album is called Ambition. They don't want to make no more albums. That's unfortunate because I think they did great work together. But you know, I can't. I'm not a.
Yeah.
They've been boys longer than I've known them. So if they break up, I'm imagining it's some shit.
To say, right?
Right, but which is super unfortunate. As the guy who. When again, once you get put in like a position of leadership, dealing with artists is wild. It is not for the faint of heart. There's so many. He's laughing because there's so many of them who do what
that nigga don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. I be getting caught up in my voice. That's my voice. I be getting caught up.
Oh, shit. I didn't get we didn't sign him back then.
Oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Right in my left ear. That nigga don't know that. Like, yo, bro, what just happened?
My bad.
I'm about to clear out. All right, y'all settle that.
Anybody come and see you, Otis?
That's what it sounded like. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. That shit was great. No, but I've learned dealing with artists is not like that. That's why I started the consulting thing. That's why I do Mechanism Mondays.
Yeah. Yeah, shout to get it all out, baby.
I see him with them isms up there.
Mechanism Mondays is, yeah.
Mechanism Monday for a while after I stopped writing on a consistent basis and I went into PR for artists. I noticed that a lot of the artists who were coming to me for help were so underdeveloped in certain places, we would end up needing to go back to the drawing board. And the problem is, when you're working with a limited budget, every move you make is crucial, and every dollar you spend is going to cost some time. So if you got to go back and redo something, that's taking months out of the thing we're trying to do. You got to get the bread up, then you got to go back and do it. So I would notice that a lot of these mistakes were in a similar thread. Like a lot of you guys are making the exact same decisions at the wrong time, and it's leading to the same consequences, which is costing you time and money you don't really have. Like these dudes got 9 to 5s, they got day jobs. Yeah. These moves are crucial. You went and spent the money at the wrong spot with the wrong dude, and now you got a video you can't use for the single that you were all ready to push. Why did you put the single out before you had the video ready? Okay. See what I'm saying? Real little touches like that. Like, why'd you put it out? Well, I was gonna get the video. He said he could do it in 2 weeks, but now you got it. Yeah. It looks like it was done in 2 weeks.
But everything have all your ducks in a row, you know, when you put
real little things like that. But see, when you're more concerned about the way it looks than how it is, you make those mistakes.
Listen, we learning ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody does.
In the process of staying, consistent and just communicating more with each other. So we definitely understand.
It's a learning curve for everybody. So what I did with Mechanism Monday, because most guys who are on the nine can't afford my consulting fee, like the rate that I have for labels and shit like that, I decided, okay, let me do a general broad sweep and address some of these things that I find artists trip up at, not even at the finish line, but at that next level, at that next point. Here's the thing that I've noticed is going to trip you up. Don't do this. Here's the decision that I think you may make. Here's a decision, here's a fork in the road you're going to come to at this point. Make sure you go this way. If this thing is happening, make sure you go this way. But if that thing is happening, then go that way. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of little steps, but I'm just trying to help on a general scale so maybe some people can avoid the mistakes I see a majority of them making.
Well, no disrespect. I'm about to put Professor before your name. Professor before your name, baby.
Listen, I understand why you did what you did at the source, because you just broke down a lot of different things. And what's the difference between this, that, and the third? And I understand that how you were able to rate these types of albums and give them this rating and give them this because you got to be able to understand what the MC and the lyricist and what this person is. Because if you don't, then you just out here just rating a bunch of just saying whatever you want on the album.
I learned at the feet of masters, so I don't have any. I'm confident when I start talking because I know where the information came from. Everybody I learn from is verified. Everybody I learn from is certified. I have what's called a qualified opinion. I don't.
An expert opinion.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I'll let somebody else determine that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my opinion is qualified. My opinion is backed up by hundreds of hours of research, hundreds of hours of listening. I don't listen to music strictly from an enjoyment standpoint. I'm analyzing it, which almost makes it suck sometimes because it's hard for me to just enjoy it as it is, which I still manage to do. However, how many flights do you take in a year?
Probably one.
Okay. But one a year? Okay. Let's do it a different way. How many drinks do you have in the course of the year?
Just ask on a Sunday. Just say,
expert
say how many drinks you have on a Sunday while y'all recording. There you go. That's a better question, bro.
Probably 3.
Okay.
That's it? Yeah.
If
not today though.
If the guy who makes liquor sat you down and decided he wanted to talk to you about the process, would you tell him he was full of shit or would you listen?
I would listen.
Okay. How long have you had your driver's license?
Yes.
Right?
I'm on you first started, baby. I used to get in that nasty van with you and shake the town.
No, took the middle seat out in the inside.
Exactly. Fair to say you've been driving a long time.
Yeah.
Right? If a mechanic stepped to you and started talking to you about an engine, would you shut him down or would you listen?
Nah, you gotta listen.
Okay.
Let me hear this. Hold on, let me see what you're gonna say there. Give him something. Give him something that.
How long have you been eating?
All my life.
Before you were born.
Yes.
If a chef stepped to you and told you about making food, would you shut him down or would you listen?
Gotta listen.
Okay.
Got to.
Okay. I'm a chef. I'm a pilot.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic.
Yeah.
I make Hennessy.
Yeah.
You dig? When I start talking about these things, I'm not talking from a I drive a lot point of view.
Yeah.
I drink a lot point of view. I eat a lot point of view. I'm not talking from that point of view. I've never talked from that point of view. I'm talking from the point of view of the pilot. I'm talking from the point of view of the mechanic.
That's what the fuck I do.
This is all I've ever done.
No doubt.
So I'm not shy and bashful and humble and meek. I'm humble, but I'm definitely not meek about the fact that this is the work I put in to achieve what I've gotten and know what I know.
Sound like he just said, I know my shit. Nigga, don't play games out.
Don't
play games out here. I know my shit.
But he know his shit, but I need to see more of that, son. I need to see that. Like, I hear it because he on the stoop, but I need to see that because that's some shit, baby.
But when he say hip hop, because you know what I'm saying? That's
cold.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? I couldn't help it. You know what I'm saying? After you just said all that, I'm like, yo, this is what we did. We love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And for all those that don't know the Roman numerals, that's 1973. That's 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we wanna sit down and say, thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
And everything you're doing with hip hop.
Thank
you for coming on the
show.
show.
You know what I'm saying?
Pulling up to the stoop. For the stoop, baby.
Man, no. Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We definitely gonna do our winter joint. We gotta do our winter.
You know he just called. You know he just called. He just called that news out. He like, yo, what up? I got something I want to come through. What up?
I think we should make this seasonal. I think I should be here like once a quarter. Once a quarter.
Listen, Professor.
Summer, winter, spring, fall, like
with the knowledge you just gave me, I was sitting here listening, baby.
But y'all know what it is? 237, no place like home.
Catch me on the stoop, baby. You filthy animals.
Yo, pull up.
We ain't gonna just leave here and not acknowledge Kurt Sneakers.
Oh, my.
You know what? We already did that. We already did that, B. We already did that, B. B, I love you, but you ain't say nothing about these motherfucking laces over there.
Those came first.
You know what I'm saying? These joints is alright, but you ain't say nothing about the weed thing right here. You ain't say you can't talk about these without talking about those.
This guy right here, we in the style though.
We gonna go order. So listen. One. Them Billy Williams, baby.
I ain't even close.
You gotta talk about the shoe. You gotta talk about the laces. This is hip hop. Them shits is cool. Them shits is cool.
Oh my God. My shit is more job place than that, baby.